Hello, fellow rental property investors. I am Daniel Sperling Horowitz, CEO of Offer Market, and today is a DSCR loan update. It is Monday, November 13th, 2023. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Today's DSCR loan interest rate ranges from 8.2% to 9.2%, and the DSCR loan interest rate is based on a risk-free rate, which is typically the 5-year US Treasury, and today that is at 4.7%. And then you add on top of the risk-free rate a credit spread, which is based on a few important factors that we'll talk about real quick. It's going to be LTV. If you want max LTV, you're going to be closer to 4.5% on your credit spread, so closer to that 9.2 interest rate. If you want a lower prepayment penalty, which means you want to be able to refinance in the next couple of years with low or no penalty, that's going to be a slightly higher interest rate, bringing you towards the top end of that credit spread range. And if your subject property is not a single family property, but a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, there is a slight premium on your interest rate associated with more than one unit. So those are the three factors that really determine what interest rate you'll be looking at. We are recommending our clients seriously consider going 5% below max LTV. So max LTV on a purchase is 80%, max LTV on a cash out refinance is 75%. So being 5% below that is going to give you, in many cases, about a 0.5% lower interest rate. So 70% here at Offer Market today, the indicated rate is right around 70% on a cash out refi. Indicated rate is right around 8.2%. And that's with a 5-4-3-2-1 prepayment penalty. If you wanted to go to a 3-2-1 prepayment penalty, you're going to be looking at closer to, I would say, 8.4%. So there's about a 20 basis point or 0.2% increase to go from a 5-4-3-2-1 prepayment penalty to a 3-2-1 prepayment penalty. And if you want to learn more about prepayment penalties, we have a great resource below. It's I highly recommend reading into it. A lot of our clients right now are actually going with a 5-4-3-2-1 prepayment penalty because there's this opinion that rates are going to be higher for longer. It's about 50-50. So there's a large base of investors as well that want to be able to opportunistically refinance, and they're selecting a lower prepayment penalty, which in many cases is going to be a 3-2-1 prepayment penalty. So we've covered a bunch of important concepts here. Your credit score is extremely important. At Offer Market, the lowest credit score to qualify for a DSCR loan is 660. We like for your credit score to ideally be 720 or higher so that you have the most flexibility and you can qualify for the highest loan to value. Really, we're not seeing interest rate being affected too much by credit score. In most cases, the thing that suffers as a result of a low credit score is going to be LTV. A lot of people are coming to us looking for no and low seasoning, which means most DSCR lenders are requiring you to own the property for 6 months before you can refinance into a DSCR loan. For us, we actually have no seasoning requirement. So you can purchase the property, do a really quick cost-effective renovation, lease the property, and then refinance with us. It could be below 90 days. Most of our clients are actually right around 90 days where they're doing this cash out refi, and that refinance is going to be based on the as-is value of the property given the appraisal report that we order when you move forward here with your loan. So I think that it's a really interesting opportunity if you're worried about where rates are going to be in the next few months and you want to be able to refinance now with no seasoning. We can help you with that. Another interesting concept is interest-only DSCR loans. And what that means is the first 5 or 10 years of your 30-year DSCR loan term, you would only be making interest payments. You would not be paying down the principal balance of your loan. And so that actually increases your cash flow because you're not paying down the principal balance. And because your monthly payment is lower, you can actually increase your loan amount if need be. So if you otherwise don't qualify for, let's say, a 75% cash out refi, you can structure it as a 10-year interest only DSCR loan, and that will boost your DSCR so that you can get up to that highest LTV that you're targeting. This will avoid bringing cash to closing, and it's a useful feature to be aware of. It's not right for everyone, and we're always happy to discuss in more detail what makes the most sense for your particular goals. Another final point that I really want to make here is a very common request for DSCR loans where the purchase price is below $100,000 or the as-is value is below $100,000. We consider these low balance DSCR loans. Most DSCR lenders are not able to provide a loan for a single asset, so one rental property where the purchase price is lower than $100,000 or the as-is value is lower than $100,000. And so one thing to consider is purchasing, if that applies to you, is purchasing the property using a short-term bridge loan, otherwise known as a fix and flip loan, doing a cost-effective rehab to the property, and then refinancing it when the property is now worth more than $100,000. Another option is to use a blanket portfolio loan where the total loan amount is $250,000. In that scenario, we can do we can fit any property into that portfolio as long as the as-is value is greater than $62,500 on a purchase, or $67,000, right around $67,000 on a refinance, and the loan amount per property to qualify into that portfolio would be $50,000 minimum loan amount. So those are the two options if you're dealing with properties that are below that $100,000 benchmark on the purchase price and the as-is value. So we've covered a lot of ground on this update. Interest rates are extremely volatile right now. The most competitive interest rates and the lowest fees are always at offer market. So please get an instant loan quote. There's no obligation. It could even be a hypothetical scenario that you want to understand what your terms would look like, and you want to speak with a member of our team. We're always happy to help you. Our goal is to help you grow your portfolio. And thanks so much again for watching, and stay tuned for our next update. Have a great day.